What's up, everybody? It's your boy, the Big Oxuchia. And the purpose of this video is to try to have a conversation about a meme that I saw in a Facebook group. And the question that was put out there was, has Christianity failed America? Now, before we get into today's topic, I have to still go through the usual YouTube spiel of hitting that notification bell, hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button. I don't get paid for these. I really don't care if you hit any of them. Okay, just show up and look. All right. So, the purpose of this video is not to um, look our nose down at one another. In life in general, it doesn't matter whether you're a Christian, whether you're atheist, whether you're whatever, a Gnostic, whether you're Buddhist or anything. Anything you do, you often wonder, is what you're doing enough? Are you really playing your part? Are you really doing what you say you're going to do? And a lot of times, when you have these questions, you often think that if I answer this question the wrong way, I could potentially make somebody hate me. I could make somebody despise me because of did I do enough? Was I enough? Was I working hard enough? I remember when I used to be in college, did I do my homework the right way? I'm such a perfectionist personally that sometimes when it comes down to doing things, I wonder if I'm giving it enough effort. If I really giving it my best, am I putting my best foot forward? How many of us often ask that question? Am I doing enough? Sometimes even with your kids, you think, "Hey, am I being a good enough parent? Have I done the things that I should have done that could potentially make things better for my kid? Have I done the things that could propel my kid to do the right thing? Am I being a good enough standard? Am I working hard enough?" And sometimes even on your job, you're like, did I come on time? And then was I there 5 minutes earlier? Could I came 5 minutes earlier than that? Could I got my work done faster? Was I being proactive or was I being reactive? What steps was I taking to make sure that I was successful in every way that I can? Am I doing what I'm supposed to do? Am I giving my all? We all ask that question, right? No one's exempt. Everybody asks the question of, am I doing enough? Am I giving my all? And I want to be very clear that no one knows if it's enough. No one will know if it's enough, even with all the results. Crazy enough, you can have all of the results, everything that you're supposed to have. You could have everything work out and still feel like you didn't do enough. You could look at everything and have a regret of, am I doing enough? Did I really give my best foot? Did I really put my best foot forward? Everyone can ask that question at the end of the day, and even with great success, you can still feel like you failed. You still feel miserable. You still feel unaccomplished because you're not satisfied with what it is that God is giving you to do. And there's a level of gratefulness, there's a level of responsibility that each and every last one of us has to hold. We all have a role to play in that. Am I being grateful for the things that God has put in my hands to do? But you have to understand that your hands are limited, right? Your strengths are limited. There's only so far you can go with your hands, with your accountability. There's only so many things you can do. The first thing you have to understand is everything is not meant for you to accomplish at one time. You don't have to get everything done. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have everything on your shoulders. The world It's not on your shoulders, it's on the shoulders of God. God is the one who saves. God's blood is the one that transforms people. It is by the Holy Spirit that anyone has understanding of God's will and way. It is nothing that you have unto yourself. So sometimes we like to believe that we are the ones that make things happen. We are the ones that drives the ship, but really it's God who gives everything. Remember, Paul says, I plant and Apollo waters, but it is God at the end of the day who gives the increase that makes things work. So, my way of encouraging you today is not to wonder if Christianity has failed America. It is not your job to find out if God if you're failing America, but I think the real question is, are we failing God's purpose? Are we failing God's plan for his people? Have we been spreading the gospel? Have we been hungry for the word? Have we been leaders and loving and kind in all the ways that we can be without enabling bad behavior? Have we been, proactive instead of reactive in the moment? Are we really putting our best foot forward? And if you're doing all the things that you can, if you're making the positive choices, if you're doing the positive steps, then you have done all that you can humanly do, and thus you have fulfilled your part as to the best of your ability. But only God knows. There's in Matthew's, there is a story by Christ about how there was a king, and the king has these men who are supposed to be like the like servants, right? And these servants, they're giving each a talent, which I guess in the time was money, right? And each talent that they're given, they're supposed to do something with it. And so the king goes away. He tells them that he wants something from them, and he goes away and he leaves them in responsibility, with this responsibility of bringing something back and cultivating the talent, right? And so the men go out and do so, but one of the servants, he chooses to bury his talent, right? He chooses to take that talent and put it in the ground, and he doesn't do anything with it. And in his mind, he fixes his mind to believe that the talent that he did with it was going to work out, right? But remember what Proverbs chapter 16:2 says, right? That God knows your motives. So when the king comes back and he goes to each person, he starts off with his one man. He says, "My guy, what did you do?" He says, "Hey, king, I'm sorry. I wanted to do more. I thought I did enough, but I only came with these 2 talents, man. That's all I could come up with." And he says, "Okay, you know what? My good and faithful servant, come into my bosom, bro. Go ahead and come on in. You did a good job. Well done." And then the next one comes up. "Hey, what you do?" He said, "Well, king, I really wish, I tried my hardest, but nobody was really, willing to help out really. So, I kind of only came back with like 3. I tried. I really did." He's like, "You know what, man? You know what? You a king, man. Go ahead on. Come on in the back. You did this. This is yours. Well done, my good and faithful servant," right? And then again, he does that again and again, and then he gets to my man that buried his talent. And the one that buried his talent, he's standing there, "Yeah, I got this. Yeah, I've been waiting for this." Cause look at them, all them just they worked all that hard, and they didn't really have to do all that. All they had to do was just bury that talent and wait. So he coming in, he like, "Lord, I did it. I did it. I brought back your talent. The one you gave me." And the king like, "Okay, that's just the talent I gave you. What else did you do with it?" He's like, "Lord, I brought back the one." "You mean all you got is one? So you buried the talent. You didn't do anything with it. Depart from me. I know you not, you worker of iniquity." Because you didn't try. You didn't do anything with it. You buried it. Some of us are burying our talents out of fear. We're burying our talents out of this self-absorbed idea that if I just hold back and just be kind and just be loving and just be, this timid kindness, not real kindness, timid quietness, not honest, but I'm going to be so kind, I'm going to be so timid, I'm going to be so midget, I'm going to be so minute that all I'm going to do is just do things and that's good enough. No. If I bury this talent and I put it in the ground and I cultivate it, hopefully it just stays in there, and then I can just come back and I can give it to the king and everything's going to be all right. But did you do anything with it? How many times did you spread the gospel? How many times did you do? Now, if you out there and you trying and you putting your best foot forward, not just do. There's nothing wrong with doing nice things, and it's good to do nice things. But if your doing nice things doesn't result in you spreading the gospel, what you're doing is all you're doing is nice things. To what end? To whose glory? To your own? To make yourself feel good? To boast yourself up? To make yourself look like you're a Christian? To look like a good Christian but not really being a good faithful servant? Because a good faithful servant is going to talk about how good the service is, right? You're not going to go to, like, I put it like this. Some of the best word of mouth I've heard is from servers about a restaurant. I've heard servers say, don't come eat at where I work because the food ain't good. I've heard servers say, hey, you don't want to come over here because, they don't take care of things the right way. They ain't doing it right. And the politics ain't good, man. And I don't like how they function over there. And they'll tell you, like, this is not the place you want to be. So my thing is to you, listen to those type of things. A good servant is going to tell you something. They're going to warn you when things are bad. They're going to say, hey, this ain't the place you want to be. This ain't where you want to go. Yeah, I got to be here, but I don't want you here. I want you to go in a different direction. I want you to be in a better place. I want you to do things the right way. Yeah, I'm saved by the grace of God. Why do I have the life that I live? Because of the grace of God. Why do I have such great moments? Yeah, I have hard times, but even in my hard times, Christ is ever so with me. He never leaves me. He never forsakes me. He never goes away. And when I ask him, and he's able to do it because he's able to do it, not because I'm good, but because he's good. Not because I'm loving, because he's loving. And when you begin to share the gospel, even in your doing, you know that you're doing what you're supposed to do. Yes, my videos ain't short, y'all. I'm sorry. I don't do 15-minute videos. I do a little bit longer because I want to get the message out that the most important thing you can do as a Christian is to spread the gospel. And if you're doing that, that's the most loving thing you can do. If you can't do nothing else, tell them about Christ and be the shining example of it. So you can't just say it, you have to live it too. So for all those that are doing, I'm proud of you. Keep on doing. But to those that are just doing and thinking that that's just enough, I'm going to tell you that that's not enough. You got to do more than just give your kindness. You have to tell about Christ. And in the same respect, to those who are, sitting in their, telling about Christ, but you're not being kind, don't have any real kindness in your heart. You don't have any gentleness or meekness or respect for the other humans and what they may go through, and no empathy for what they may be going through, because you have to struggle with your own sins. You have to respect those who are also struggling with sin. Okay, in your flesh you sin daily. Apart from Christ, you have no righteousness. So remember that. So if that be the case, you can't look down your nose at somebody and say, I'm glad I'm not like these over here. You have to go, well, man, bro, I know you're going through some hard times. Let me be that person that's going to help you, that's going to love on you, that's going to respect you. But if you ain't got that in your heart, bro, it's going to come back. It's going to come back. And you're going to find yourself in a place where you could be of some type of assistance, some type of help, some type of love, man, you ain't gonna be able to do none of that because you have such a hateful and angry spirit about you. Ain't nobody gonna want to hear nothing you gotta say. And that's just real talk, my bro. That's real talk, my guy. That's the way life really is. There's no there's no backwards. There's no in between. It's either you're spreading it, either you're doing something with your talent or you're not. And that's what so has America failed, has Christianity failed America, we won't know until we meet Christ. If all of our doing was right, if it was good enough, do what you can until God call you home. That's all you can do. You can't measure that out. It's not fair for you to. And I think the devil will be the only person that will be accusing the church of not doing enough. You can't make people accept something that they don't want to accept. You can't make people come into something that they don't want to come into. You know, if they don't want the gospel, they don't want the truth, they don't want to live by faith, you can't make them. You can only ask them to consider. Just like right now, I'm asking you to consider how you treat others, how you're being treated, and just love your neighbor, even if it's hard, even when they're not nice to you, even when they hate you. There's a lot of people, they hate Christ first. There's a lot of people in this world that literally just hate Christ, and by proxy, they hate you because you love Christ. They would love for you to hate Christ. They would love to see you fall off your proverbial high horse. It would make them feel so much better knowing that you are failing. But when you are doing what thus says the Lord, and you're really into it, you really believe it, there ain't no stopping you, man. But that's all that I have to say on this topic. I'm your boy, the Big Ox Uchiha, and please comment, rate, subscribe, and let me know what you think about this topic. Do you feel that America's Christianity has failed America? Do you think that, things are not good? Tell me in the comment section below, but please do be respectful. Please do be honest, and just be loving as you can be. I'm your boy, the Big Ox Uchiha, and I am out of here.